Happy Monday. I wanted to draw a few plants. I've been playing around with Terra Cotta pots and plants. I went to New Mexico over the holiday break, and I forgot how much I loved all the color and how beautiful all the colors are. And so I thought I would just show y'all some quick plants and in their pots. Of course, New Mexico is dry, and so succulents and cactus are a big thing out there. So I just wanted to do this for a little bit and show you some of the methods I use. I usually start, if I'm going to do a trio, I start in the middle, and I like a round, short round pot. Just be real loose. Don't worry about being perfect right now. And I think I'm going to put a snake plant in this one. Hope everybody had a great day. It's really windy and cold here in West Texas. Kind of hard to believe that it gets this cold here. I don't love it. I stayed in all day. I'm a wimp with cold weather. I had enough of it for 10 years in Montana and Colorado, so I like sunny days. I think I'm going to make this one a little taller, get some height. And then I wanted to do just a basic terracotta pot. I like that lip or rim, whatever you want to call it. Just bring that down. And I think I'm just going to put a spider plant in here. And I'm just going to put the directional just to kind of get a feel for where they're going to go. And some babies down here. Baby spiders. Now, some people I think call this aloe. I call it a snake plant, and I've even heard it called a mother-in-law plant. Mother-in-law tongue. I know, that's horrible. This one is a little bit smaller, and I'm going to have it come slightly behind that one. So if you can just picture them on someone's patio. And I'm going to do a cactus in this one. So that just kind of gives you an idea. Proportion, just play with it, have fun with it. Terra Cotta is very forgiving. And so that's why I love to paint them. I'm going to start, I'm using that angle brush, and I'm going to start with this russet. It's a Neil color 2 by Aquarelle, and I love this russet color for a base color. So I'm putting it on there, and then I'm just pulling the color. And then down the sides. And I know you're not supposed to outline with the watercolors, but I usually get the base color going and immediately move that color so that you don't have just a solid line right there. So I like to move it. My brush is pretty wet. So you're getting that dark along that rim and darker along this rim. I don't have a lot of water on here. I dipped it once and keep dipping it back in my Neil color. If you haven't seen these, they're absolutely fabulous. I've had them for quite a few years. They go a long ways, and the colors are super saturated. So that's pretty just clean, basic terracotta look. I'm going to go to the next one. Get a nice rounded edge. And pull that color. I'm going to leave some of those whites showing through. And another Terra Cotta russet. You could use oranges and mix them with burnt umbers, some dark navy blues. I'll pull a little bit of that water off. I got bubbles, but that will add to the texture. Now, of all things, I'm going to add some purple. I know, but watch, just watch. I'm going to splatter a little. And this kind of adds some of that variegation and discoloration. I just think it's fabulous with the oranges. Now I'm dipping into a bright orange. These are called Philosophy, and those are the classic colors. So now I'm letting that water just play and move around with the purple. This one's called, I'm getting so messed up, I can't read it. But let it sit for a while, and if you want to pull it off, you can. Leave some darks and lights. I'm pulling up some burnt umber, and I want to put some cracks in here, because this one's been sitting on the patio for a long time. See how I softened it with the water, and you can see how it's moving right there. And we have a crack in our little terracotta pot. The sun baked it a lot, and it's aging. If you get color, just wipe it away with your brush, and that's creating a good base color right there. Let some of those colors just come in beside you, beside the pot, I mean. Okay. I think I want to put more bright orange on this one. I think I'm going to bring in a little navy blue. So you see all that movement, like how it got muddy right there. And I want to, now I know this is real rough right here, but I will be outlining it with a Sharpie or a pigment micron. I'll bring some burnt umber. Isn't that fun? That just brings in some shadows, some contrast. All right, let's play with the leaves. So I'm switching to a smaller angle brush. And I've created, earlier today I was playing with these, and I've created some greens by using blues and yellows. Play with creating your own colors. Take your basic green. This one's, pretty typical evergreen. I don't know all the proper names. And yellow, and just start mixing. And I like to have a light green and a deep one, because we want to see contrast. So I'm going to start with that light green. And I'm going to pull, see how my point is down, and I'm pressing the bristles, but I'm still staying, my handle is, so that is so lime green. I'm picking up some more dark green. And I want more contrast in there. It's still pretty light. Let's get some of this. That's better. Okay, that's all. So see how I lifted? Yeah, I'm standing straight up and then I lift so that this point creates that end of that very fine tip of the spider plant. I'm going to create my babies. I'm not real good with plants, so it's just easier to maintain one that's painted. And get some more. Handle up, press to get it wider. Lift up your bristles so you're right on the very edge. Yeah, fun. I want to get some of these going. A lot of water right there, so I'm pulling it and just making another release. And I love to always pull them over the side of the pot. And there you go. Don't overdo it. I have to remind myself less is more. And otherwise, I don't like the point of that one. Otherwise, you just get so much going on. And so let's let that dry for a little bit. And I'm going to bring the light green over here for a base. Now let's play with that snake plant, and I'm using that same light color. We'll get some contrast in a minute. It's easier to darken than to lighten. I learned that years ago when we painted walls. We painted homes for 15 years. And it's interesting how those concepts apply to art as well. So it's easier to darken than to lighten. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the camera. I'll have to move the camera up a little more next time. Okay, I'm loving these colors, how as they dried, they just created kind of a marbling. Let me move in a little bit for you. You can see how the blues, kind of an aging, you see a little bit of the purples, the browns. Looks like it's been watered many times and the soil has stained the Terra Cotta. Now, if these are too brown, use whatever colors you want. Go brighter oranges, go bright yellows. I love the Mexican pottery that we see at the grocery store, H-E-B around here, and I have them in my front, my flower gardens in the front because they bring such a pop of color to our desert life. So I'll just go ahead and brighten this one up. Let's make this one a bright orange. Pull it across and drag that color down. I think when that dries, I'm going to put a bright sunshine on it. I think that makes it. Okay, this is pretty dry, and this one's dry enough that I can bring in some contrast. So I've got a lot of blue on here, and I'm just going to tone that down with some water. But it's kind of a mucky, mossy green, but it's going to bring some good contrast over here. Pretty muddy looking, but look at that contrast with that brighter citron green. So this looks like more leaves. Another layer of these leaves that are coming out. Gave it some depth, especially right here at the base. Some of them may even be kind of dying and dried up. If this was my plant in my house, it would definitely be dying. So I like that contrast. So I think I want a little more blue, a different green. I want more blue in it for the snake plant. And so I'm taking this on one side. Well, I like that one right in the front, and that wasn't even planned. So that's what's fun about watercolor and painting. You start laying the brush to the paper and things show up that you didn't even plan on doing that. Just go with the flow. Don't you love that saying? I'm leaving that contrast, that lighter color. But some of them, I want dark all the way. Pulling that paint. If it's too wet, I'm going to pull that back off. I just blotted the brush on paper towel and pulled some off. So you have that contrast between that light and dark. If you see pencil marks, don't worry. We're still going to outline it with a Sharpie. And then I want to bring a contrasting color on this one between each section. I'll blot that. It's getting kind of runny. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to use a round, I think I want a flat brush to do that sunshine. And I think I'm going to use this nail color to lemon yellow. And I think I'm going to put it over here. Let's get a big bright sun on here. Oh, that added a pop of color. Oops, sorry. So I'm wetting the brush. I used the nail color like a crayon, wetting the brush and move that color around. Now let's get some bright orange. Ooh, no, let's do pink. A very hot, bright pink to bring some contrast. I know. It's not typical, but let's do it anyway. This would have been cute as a sunflower too. Just pushing that around the edge and adding more sunbeams. Let's square that off. Oh yeah. That is fun. This would be fun as multicolored as well. Let some of that yellow show through. Pull it around. And soften that edge. You don't want it to look like a color crayon page from your childhood. And I want to put some orange back in here. Bring a little more contrast. That blue, some of that yellow, purple, and move it. And since I love New Mexico so much, And I love turquoise. I'm going to bring a dash of turquoise somewhere. Let's put it on this pot too. Need some color up there. So fun. Let those colors move. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to blot it a little since it's running so much. Okay. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. Smaller brush. Okay, a small round. Move a little bit of this color. A little bit of this. I think we need a yellow rose on that cactus. Yellow Rose of Texas. I don't know if that song's referring to cactus or not. But I'm going to take this flat brush. No, I'm going to use a round brush. Round brush, get a bright, bright, bright yellow. And just really loosely get a blossom up there. I saw one day I was doing some photos of a high school senior girl, and we were at a junkyard because there's not a lot of scenery here. I don't think I want one right there. And we looked down and there was this cactus blooming this gorgeous yellow blossom. I'm bringing this russet back in. And I'm going to just kind of outline and use the end of it just to get some texture. And soften it with the brush. You don't want those hard edges, but I like that texture. See, that texture added another whole dimension. I'm going to do it on the bottom. And I want to add texture over here. It's still a little wet, so it's picking that texture up really good. So let's get some texture there, softened. Okay, I'll let it dry for a minute. And we'll add our outlines. Now, somebody may like it just like this. I think I'm real happy with, I'll see. Once I pick up the pen, I usually start. You can't put it down. But I'm using Pigment Micron 1. And I love these for detail and get a little bit of outline. So let's start with, I think I just want to keep this just up in here to kind of give it some depth. Let's add those little sprigs under there, maybe down here. Now let's get that rim. That just defines it. I know you can get this, you can do this with a brush. This is just my method. And if you want to do it with a brush, have at it, do it. I really want this definition though around here. I love the black contrast. Pen got wet. I'm gonna kill it. Let's do a spiral. And it's wet. I better go to a Sharpie. Sharpies won't let you down. Not fun. Define this bottom of this pot. Yeah, we need some little bit of definition there. Now, of course, we need, I don't like that, it's too thick. So I'm going back to the Pigma. Oh no. This is one plant I can keep alive for a while. See how I kind of skip along? So you don't just have this solid dark line. I told you once I get going, sometimes I can't stop. Can't stop myself. So with your Pigma microns, you saw it just happen. I got it wet and it ruined the tip. So should really wait a little longer, be patient. You can do little check marks for these thorns or prickles or whatever you call them, stickers. You can do check marks, little X's, straight lines, dots. Just have fun with it. These little squiggles, loopy loops. See how it adds texture, movement. Now some of y'all may really be perfectionists and just like straight. Just have fun with it. I'm not going to bring lines on that because I love the look of that character. I even like that this funky and lopsided. I'm going to do one more detail, and that is with, oh girls, what did I do with my, oh here it is. So I like to use the Posca pen to add the white, and these are really cool item because it's an acrylic paint. I saw on YouTube today where she used gouache, is that how you say it? And I also like India ink for white. There's just not a white watercolor that's going to be opaque enough. I mean, and it's just too transparent. So I've never been happy with a white from a watercolor. But this, you can see how much more saturated this is. I'm just adding those little ziggy lines. I need one of these in a finer tip. I'm trying to do zigzags. There we go. On that bigger leaf, I have more liberty. But you can see how it's giving it texture, character. Kind of looks like the real thing, and it's a lot easier to keep alive. I hope you had fun watching. This book is the Canson Mixed Media. And I love using this for my art journaling because the pages are really thick. And let's see, it's 98 pound, and so I can Mod Podge on these. This is the one I practiced today. I took a class online with, where's her name? Ellen Cramtrant. She does amazing lessons, so I was really impressed with her. I didn't like this pot, but it was a good chance to put notes at what I did not like and what I did. And then what I did with y'all tonight, and it was a lot of fun. Always sign your work. You could have a lot of fun with adding background color, pattern in the back. You could go a lot of directions with this. Just have fun with it. Of course, pattern would be cute, pops. So thanks for popping in. I'll see you next Monday.